Welcome to the gamers. It's episode 2 of Exit Frag. I'm your host, Andy. To my right, we're joined again with Ford.
What's up?
And then to my left, 2 newcomers. You know them from if you watch any of our stuff. They're huge too. To my left, it's Ford.
Hello. Yeah, VCT documentaries. That's pretty much my thing.
And then to my far left, we have Busty.
Hey, what's up? It's Busty. Make video essays on VCT, just like these guys.
Yeah. So this episode, we're actually recording during the third map of the Paper X Sentinels lower finals. So I'm kind of looking over there. So if you see any of us kind of looking off to the side or reacting, that's kind of what we're doing. But to start off, I actually kind of wanted to talk about just Masters Madrid as a whole so far, our feelings about it. How do you guys feel about how the teams have performed, where we're at now, especially with playoffs and Loud being eliminated? So we could talk about just this run that Sentinels have been having recently, especially going up 2 maps on Paper X right now.
Who wants to take it away?
I can start. I mean, obviously, Sentinels have been performing very, very well. The one key factor is Zekken. I mean, this guy's incredible. There's no doubt he's now going to be top 3 player in the world right now. The only game that they lost was when Zekken had a bad performance against GenG as of now. So it's really him that is propelling them, but as well as TenZ performing really well, and also John's calling has been outstanding. The way he sort of manipulates the other team, he has a similar style to FNS, where he has this sort of on attack. He pushes and pulls, and he prods around trying to find weaknesses in defense, which is really good against many teams. That's why they have pretty good consistency, because they can sort of read teams pre to the game, but then if they switch it up, it's on the fly. It's much easier to push and pull this way, which is why FNS was so successful, and then obviously John is this sort of CS style, if I would put it. But
I had zero faith in JohnQT. I gotta be completely honest.
Zero faith. Even
look, coming in when he got picked up by Sentinels, I just thought he was fairly middle of the road, average, because I watched every Challengers game, and watching M80 last year was tough because they were just better than everyone. Even the guard in the regular season, they were steamrolling everyone, so there was never any need to really switch up the game plan. And so when they went to Ascension and got boomed in the finals, I was like, okay, does this guy actually have it like that? He does. He's got it like that, man. Some of these Sentinels rounds are insane. You just lose track of what's going on because Sentinels are winding their way throughout the map and just killing people. And you're like, okay, that didn't even look like a plan. It looks like an on-the-fly call. So I'm very impressed. I thought I had Valen ranked much, much, much higher than him in my mind. And
yeah. Well, I thought he was going to be more like a Magnum type IGL, where he doesn't have it with individual play at all. But
he's highest rated player on Sentinels right now.
Yeah,
no, I didn't think he was shooting back like this either, because he was not shooting like this last year, at least not that I recall.
I thought I didn't see too much of M80, so I haven't looked too much, but I did kind of some of their strategies. I didn't think they had the best cohesion, but I liked the ideas behind it. And I thought once he kind of went to Sentinels, I knew that they would give him the support he needed to put in the time, build these strategies with Kaplan. And that's what we see. And now also he has fragging ability. TenZ knows how to dominate with the Omen. Also, I'm just glad
he was good.
Yeah.
He remembered.
Well, and also I like now that he doesn't have to play Jet because he still should be the opper. Yeah. And now that he can actually play an agent that is more CS.
I think it's been said 1,000 times, but the entry role for him it wasn't right for him. And
It's like in the Yay role when he
Mm-hmm.
played Chamber. It's like similar to that,
Yeah.
like the trade role. Like he's really
yeah,
good. Like
just come and
getting
clean
on
up,
with-
really.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he's
'cause-
been really, really good.
He was only, well, not only, he also is very, like, has a great game sense, but like back in 2000, like during his real peak, it was when like he could just dash in, like entering wasn't as like clean as it is now. So you could
walk
just
in and
dash
kill
in.
4.
Yeah, and kill 4. And that's what would happen with Ye back on like Andbox and stuff like that before he joined Envy. Like that's kind of just what it was back then. And the game changed. He's not an entry player. He never was. And now he just gets to dominate. Like the one game they lost while Zekken did bad, TenZ did terrible. Like, and so like when TenZ does good, it's like,
Yeah, they're sort of like far off each other. If they're like one does well, the other one's going to do well as well. Like it's pretty. Cool
Yeah,
to see.
they have a good dynamic.
Yeah, and I feel like when we talk about Sentinels, we gotta bring my man Sacy, because oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
like every time he's put in a 1v2 situation or like a 1v4 situation, he somehow comes up on top. He's somehow clutches the round, and it gives Sentinels the advantage over the game. And it's just incredible to watch this man perform, even though he's not with Pankara, obviously, because Zellsis came in. But yeah, that's something that I want
Yeah,
to
imagine
talk
this
about.
team when Pankata comes back and starts playing again.
Ooh,
It's gonna be crazy, man.
I don't know.
It'll reach new heights.
I mean, they got Curry in too as well. They got
yeah,
Curry in.
Curry. Yeah, man. Sometimes I forget. I think it's like just in my head I associate like young players with being really good at shooting, and Sacy is not like. Well, is he like in his 20s? Is he just bald? Is he old?
he's just
25
bald
or
and
something.
has like a wife.
Oh shit. Okay, see, in my mind he's like an old man, and so I'm like, I forget that he can just like kill 4 at any time.
Yeah, I get you.
So
Well,
yeah,
Nismo. He's not Nismo.
no,
Well,
no,
Nismo can
That's-
still kill 4 as well. So
yeah, he's a businessman though, restaurant owner, kids. Is Sacy really that young?
it's like 26. I want to say.
He's 26.
He's like 2
Damn.
years older than me.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
sorry,
be honest. I
Sacy.
thought he was much, much older.
He's the same age as my sister, bro. My
It's because
sister.
he was a League of Legends, bro.
Yeah, that's what took his hair.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty insane. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one thing about Sacy, he just, I remember when I think of Sacy, I think of just like 3 people running up on him and he just like spray transferring, headshot all of them. Like that's just something he always does. And even when he has a poor game, he'll still pull out a round like that, which I think is like the Loud difference. Like players that come from Loud just, well, I guess there's not that many players that come from Loud. They're pretty much still on Loud, but they're always able to just pull off like crazy rounds that they shouldn't have. Like we saw that all last year and everything. And like Saucy's like one of the reasons for just, and he brings that to Sentinels, which is like so great for them.
The Brazilian
Sorry,
players in
Manye
general.
just aced on my second monitor.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh God, Paper Rex,
Yeah, no.
what are you doing?
How
Those
many
Loud guys-
does he have?
God, what are you doing, Paper Rex?
They have like ironclad mentals.
I
I
just
guess-
think they don't care.
Yeah, talking about Loud, if we're talking about Sacy, Sadak and Sacy are pretty linked together in my head. That man has the most ironclad mental I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen him tilt. He'll lose the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching round, and he'll get up with a smile on his face, and he'll look at his teammates, and he'll be like, and he'll shrug it off.
Ah,
I think that rubs off on the rest of the team, that kind of like chill attitude.
yeah.
Yeah, Loud overperformed,
I feel like
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
Sadak's
yeah.
the only guy that FNS is probably scared of. I don't think anybody else, like,
I mean,
scares FNS.
he always seems to play up to the level of IGLs ranked above him. Like I think about, I mean, personally, I don't know how people rate Boaster in comparison to Sadak, but I mean, Loud, like last year when they beat Fnatic twice, they had them like solved. Like especially on Haven, their game plan on Haven was nuts, and Fnatic had no answer. They would just walk into the back of site, drop the Viper utility, and just kill everyone, and there was no adaptation. I feel like he levels up when he goes against other top IGLs, and that's very valuable. And then when he's not playing against top IGLs like versus EDG, they'll just walk over them. So
That's why I was kind of surprised how Loud never really solved some of the maps that like Sentinels are just kind of like dominating them on. Like maybe it's like a comp diff because like I don't love the comps that they always pick, but they were just giving up control like a lot in different, like especially on split when they got like 13 forward. It was just like they were just letting Sentinels retake constantly, like on defense, and then constantly having like an open site because like they get tricked.
yeah,
And I was kind of surprised by that. Like JohnQT's great, but like I was expecting a little bit more from like Sadak, at least in that map. But maybe it's just they're trying to figure out how to use QCK correctly and how to get all their players activated.
It feels like ramming your head into a wall, bro.
Like when it works, it doesn't even feel like it worked because of like, oh, because you have Phoenix. It's like
I just don't like
everyone.
I don't like it. Did Sadak, am I remembering correctly? I feel like at some point we saw Sadak on Raze. Maybe we just put Sadak on Raze.
Get back on Raze.
See what happens. Let's get back to our roots.
Angel played Jet once and he dropped 30, so you know.
Yeah, anyone can do it.
Anyone.
All right. Yeah, how about EMEA, yeah?
I mean, okay. I wanted to say that KC kind of choked the game against PRX.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Did. I mean, also Heretics did choke that game on split. Benji Fisher was having a live game, to be fair. Forsaken was walking in the 4th time and didn't clear the corner that Benji was in for like the 10th time for some reason. Alex probably broke his desk right there and then.
Yeah.
And then he kept winning somehow. So I don't know what Heretics were. They sort of had a rough attack side, a very rough attack side. And then KC sort of KC should have won the Ascent game. Got outread when they played against Sentinels, KC at least. But yeah, it was rough, EMEA.
Well, if you really look at it, like, yeah, Team Heretics lost like 2 straight maps or 2 straight games and were just like underperformed majorly, but it was like 3 maps to Sentinels. And then Paper X wasn't playing great, but it was 3 maps to Paper X.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't terrible.
I feel like even though Paper X weren't playing good, they just like, I don't even know how else to describe. They just turned up for like the last half of split. Like there was nothing in my mind that Heretics could have done because PRX was literally, I mean, Forsaken especially, was just killing people. Like, and I'm not a strategist or an analyst. I'm sure there's a solve for that in a timeout maybe, but it felt like actually impossible.
So I mean, like Paper X is like a really momentum based team. So you see them like off the bat they're losing. Like right now they beat Sentinels on split. Like you can't really expect anything from this team, and once they kind of feel it, they just go with the flow. No matter what you are, no matter what team you are, no matter whether you're Prime, Optic, or Fnatic, like Paper X on a good day, they're just gonna roll. They're just gonna win the map. Like there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, I feel like when they made that run with CGRS, as Riot calls him, cigarettes, I think is his actual thing. But I felt like that just exemplified it. Like these guys they just win. Like they just find a way. And it sounds so stupid and reductive of probably a lot of the hard work they put in. But man, when you're watching, there's no other way to describe it. It's like, they're just killing. They're just killing everyone. I'm not a big VOD reviewer, so I can't tell you why they're just killing someone or everyone so easily, but they are. So
it's organized chaos. That's what it is.
Yeah, I will say though, I do believe in not just like Heretics and Karmine Corp, but I think EMEA is gonna bounce back pretty hard. I think Fnatic's gonna be back. I think KC is gonna be better.
100%.
Heretics for sure.
I think Foot will be really good as well.
I think Foot's going to be... That's who I had, actually. Like, I had them and Fnatic making it to Masters Madrid instead. And, like, Foot didn't look bad. They lost, like, 2 close games, I think. I'd have to recheck, but... And
I mean, Foot did win the off-season tournament.
That's true.
And they look really good. I mean, I saw CNET popping off.
Yeah.
I got to see him. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I saw EMEA, like Fnatic, maybe Vitality, maybe footballists like make it to
Brought out the government.
you know,
man.
Masters. Yeah, but I guess
Footballists.
not. Yeah.
Because I think Fnatic would have, if it was like double elimination at that
Oh, for
part of
sure.
it, I think they would have made it still.
They don't lose twice. in my
Nah,
head.
and they're fine. Like they're gonna, and then Karmine Corp even did good. Like they lost in overtime to be eliminated by Paper X.
KC did good. I got no
Yeah, so
problems
like
with them.
the only thing that really is like, oh, like this is weak is like China still.
Yeah, no, China is.
Like everyone was kind of right about them.
Yeah, it's just hard because like.
Yeah,
I
it's like
mean-
a one-team region, EDG and EDG. That's it.
There's
Just
no
EDG.
scrim partners. There's no squall. Like I guess they could scrim with APAC. That's what they did before.
Yeah,
I'm
but then
pretty
that
sure,
kind of defeats the purpose of having a separate region.
yeah.
Like when you scrim
And
with
even
APAC.
then, APAC, like obviously their top two teams are very good, but the fall off after that is pretty large. Like there wasn't many inspiring. I mean, T1 looks good, but not great.
I mean, it's always been the case with APAC. You have DRX and Paper X on top, and then maybe
Yeah.
you have like Zeta Division coming off. But then they the Japanese scene kind of looks kind of stale right now.
It's just a very top heavy
DFM.
region.
Yeah.
Well, so in China, like, so I guess they take the Oceania like region also as like regional. So if they take, does it count like internationally if they take someone from like South Korea? Like, so RB, is he considered like, or not like
Yeah, he's an import. I'm pretty sure.
import? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes it hard for these teams
It's tough.
because the region's still so young.
Yeah, because they just technically got the game released. I mean, there were servers to play on, and there was ways to play, but the official release just came out, so that will bring about a lot of new talent. But it's gonna take a while to get all of those guys, like the new guys, integrated, obviously, because someone has to scout them and then trial them, and
It'll be
It'll be
good
a
for
minute.
them when they get like 4 slots in champions and like 3 of them just get eliminated instantly, because at least
Hey,
they get
man.
like at least they get like 2 chances to play like these
Yeah.
big teams. Like Billy getting chances to play, like of course that didn't matter because then they suck now, but
yeah, unlucky.
I'm just
Yeah, I
wondering,
mean-
like, continue.
No, you're good.
I was just wondering, like, where all these teams are based. It'd be in Shanghai, so they could scrim play teams in Seoul, right? The ping wouldn't be too bad. It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
it wouldn't
just
be bad.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah,
they might. But I feel like China has some. I think I heard something online like when GenG was playing against one of the Chinese
Yeah,
teams.
GenG is banned in China.
Yeah, something like that.
Straight
yeah,
up.
yeah.
really? As an org or as a team?
I don't know
The
the
org.
extent.
No, not the team. I think it's just the org because it's
Wow.
they just specifically don't like Karon.
Yeah, he just keeps dropping 40 every
He's just
straight.
a-
I love
Wow.
Karon.
Yeah.
That guy.
I don't know if that's like actually a real thing. I just see it getting like parroted
Yes.
online. Like, GenG is not allowed in China. Which is funny.
They bring
Let's
down
talk about-
national pride. But
Who else played? I think we got them all.
yeah, I
Oh,
think we-
GenG. We didn't even talk about GenG, yeah?
Oh yeah, GenG.
Oh yeah,
How we skipped the best team?
because they're the best team.
There's not much to say, right?
I need to look deeper into their like set plays and everything, but I really trust Solo. I did like a whole documentary about New Turn, and I really liked that team with Solo and Lakia and stuff. So I really love seeing them succeed. I'll always root for that core. But yeah, they've just looked insane. I don't have much to say other than the rookie players are great.
All right. Well, I'll out myself here. I had zero faith in this team. I misinterpreted or incorrectly assumed, and I watched the APAC games too, because I was on like a degenerate sleep schedule, so they were
me
on when
too.
I was awake. And I was just like, yeah, everyone. I did not watch the grand finals though, because I was like, I'm not watching this seeding match, so I missed like their most dominant performance. But I guess I incorrectly kind of assumed like, okay, this is another APAC team that plays like this super chaotic Paper X like variant style of game. I'm I'm not really sure. I was like, I don't know how the strats look or the anti strats. But shitting all over Sentinels on Split. I mean, I watched Sentinels play every match on Split, and they always looked like unbeatable to me. So that is the game that kind of like I was like, okay, yeah, these guys are like legitimate contenders. That and Lakia, uh, I guess turned his monitor on or started playing the game. I mean, he didn't look fantastic, and he hasn't looked fantastic. But he was having some like minus 20 something performances early on. He's cut it down. He's like in a minus 10 range now. And that seems to be enough to get him over the finish line. So,
Yeah, I mean with GenG, like personally for me, I've always seen them, you know, have like a really good performance in Masters. I watched their Pacific games. I even got to see them at Convergence, but they weren't playing that well, and so I was like, okay, no, I can't really expect much from them. Just like four, but then I saw their Pacific games, and I'm like, who the hell is Karon? I mean, I know Lakia, and what the hell is Texture doing? Like, is this guy really the same guy from Global Esports? And it really just goes to show you, like, you put the players on the agents that they want to play, and they will play those agents, man. Because look at Texture right now on Jet and Raze beating Sentinels on their map, Split and Lotus as well. It's just crazy. I mean, you can even see Meteor play holding down Lotus Seaside as a killjoy. It's just incredible to watch. Lakia coming back from, I think, his performance at DRX a couple of years back. He's come back, and it's like his own revenge arc. And then you have Munchkin kind of, you know, guiding his team and telling them what to do. And I think um, GenG are looking really good right now, especially with Karon and Texture playing out of their mind. Obviously, we can't forget the other players, but I've seen this team from Pacific, and I just gotta say, like, I kind of saw them coming all the way over here, and I'm just really happy that it happened, and I hope they win Masters.
Yeah. I were you s-
No, you continue. You continue.
I was just gonna say that yeah, GenG just I had really high hopes for Meteor last year. Uh, I thought he was a really great player. Now he's in a role where not everything's kind of on him because he has so many people that just can like fry. And so now he can kind of be that player that just kind of picks up kills when he can, maybe entries some. Because then you have like Karon, and then you also have like Texture, who I had in the last podcast episode, I had as my number one player. And I feel like I was right on that, other than unless you want to pit Zekken. But yeah, like Texture, I was really happy with this team. Like, I'm just so happy about him.
yeah, shout out to Meteor, man. I the one of the other reasons that I kind of doubted GenG was I feel like to win a grand finals in Valorant, you have to have like a big three. And I think that's been true for every champion. Like you have to have three guys that can, like three. I don't even know how to classify like explosive players, like guys that
Three-
can just turn around.
3 explosive and 1 clutch. That's like what I think.
Yeah, and for me, I was like, okay, they have Karon, they have Texture. Meteor's got to step up and be that guy, and I wasn't inspired by him last year. I really liked him on Northeption when he was on Northeption. Little throwback, but I was rooting for him heavy, and I'm happy for him because it's got to be hard to like go from being the guy to being the third wheel. You get relegated to cipher duty, and you're like sitting behind your trip. You're like, damn, I wish I could peek right now, but if I do, I will get flamed online. So it's cool to watch someone because I'm so sick of teams trying to force people onto roles that they are clearly not comfortable on, and I'm glad that he's comfortable on his role and popping the fuck off. So yeah, shout out to GenG. I'm sorry for
Some of the shots
doubting.
he's been hitting on the AWP on Killjoy, been insane. But how he's doing this in Northern Killjoy. I mean, his Yoru's been insane as well. Like the Yoru on Breeze against Sentinels, the way he was playing it, It's like basically I mean, this is the common thing right now in the meta, but yeah, the initiator style Yoru, just like freeing space for texture to like pick up multiple kills. It's incredible. I would
Yeah,
say
the KO jet play I've seen on Icebox, especially for GenG, is just incredible. Like I think one of them plays Harbor or Viper, not sure. And the KO flash along with Texture's entry, it's just kind of amazing to watch.
the way I look at like text, the way he plays to like Raze, it kind of reminds me of like Victor, in the way that he's not like super crazy. He sort of like gets the correct positioning every single time on the
Yeah, he gets
entrance.
like a kill and he goes back,
Yeah,
just
he's
really
always
safe. Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
methodical
Even
style.
with his ult, if you guys notice, Texture pops his ult out, and he always likes to play like a little quiet. He never really, if he doesn't see the player, he never puts it out. I don't know if you guys have noticed
He
it,
hits like
especially
every
on
ult.
Lotus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He either hits it or he doesn't see the player and he doesn't put it out.
Yeah.
It's like gone. It's really funny.
Yeah,
I guess
There
that's
was
the
that-
opposite of a Rosa ult, yeah.
Yeah,
The
there
texture
was
ult.
that one round. It was on Lotus where he if he shot it, he would have killed. Was it texture? I'm pretty sure it was texture.
Yeah, it was
would-
Texture. Yeah, yeah.
He would
it
have got
was,
like
it was.
2 kills, but he
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he just didn't.
It's not even
shoot
that
it.
one round. It's like 3 rounds if I'm not wrong. Like it's just seen it so many times. I'm like Texture, shoot it, bro, shoot it. But it just
Sometimes he doesn't want to give up his position. I guess. He, like,
yeah,
shuts
yeah.
up,
I kind of get it from his perspective as well. Like
yeah, it's like a double-edged sword.
I will say someone who's smarter than me about the game has to go through and because I watched the GenG Loud Breeze map and I was like, this is awful. What the fuck is going on? That felt like it was jail Valorant in the most literal sense. So I'm curious to see maybe what they changed or maybe what Sentinels wasn't doing that Loud was doing that kind of flipped that map for them because they dominated Sentinels on it, whereas it looked very, very sloppy. So, and that's another point, being able to clean stuff up like that. I didn't know that they had that in them, like to flip a map on its head from being whatever it was the first time they played it to what it is now, and also anti-stratting and taking split from Sentinels. So they've got more layers, I guess, is the way I would put it, than what I was giving them credit for. So,
Yeah, they're.
No, you continue.
I was just gonna say because I've been trying to make a video about Sen's split, and of course now they've lost 2 in a row, like in convincing fashion. So, but even then, like GenG mostly won that split map at least because of their counter stratting. Because Sentinels kind of does the same thing every time, which works because their whole goal is to be able to pivot like as quick as possible and like just flood sites on defense and then
you
take
can see
mid.
that Sentinels like they really want to retake site instead, so they give them site like B site for example, and they like to play the retake. And GenG are really good at reading maps, the map, and so against Sentinels, oftentimes you'll see Texture or I think Meteor, I'm not sure, playing on the opposite side of the map as a solo anchor. And you'll see GenG trying to figure out the map, and then eventually they get onto the site with no one there, and then Sentinels come back for the retake, and yeah, they lose it.
Yeah, well, because they kind of do exactly what Sentinels were kind of doing when they have an attack. Because then, at least on B, they would attack and then take alley as soon as possible, or at least like cover those choke points so that they're at least using their util to just kind of shred whoever's coming in, which always works for them. And then even there were rounds when they would even like fall right into Sen's defense, and they had util combos that were good enough to make Sentinels weird angles, and that was like enough because their players can just hit their shots. And that's why like you get a 13-5. Like when Sen
Lakia.
isn't bad. Lakia
cannot hit.
He can't hit his shots, but he does pretty good when he does fall, when he's by himself, because a couple of times he was on A kind of dueling with JohnQT. And sometimes he would die early by himself, and that would like kind of screw up their whole plans. But then sometimes he was pretty good at falling back.
Yeah, I mean his team gives him a ton of credit for his role on the team, and obviously they know the team dynamic better than anyone else. So if he's contributing, then he's contributing, and the plus minus really doesn't matter. It's just funny to poke fun at when a guy goes like minus 25, especially now.
Yeah.
Ever since that Ye game where he dropped the 619, dude, people are ruthless about like players' KDAs. It's absurd. I see that shit all the time. They're like, "Oh, he's going for pi. He's going for pi." So he's Owen right now.
Like Havoc going like 0-12 or something on his debut. That was rough.
Terrible. But yeah, no, that's always funny to me. But good for them, man. I like to see it. I like regional parity, so I don't mind at all if APAC's able to take home a trophy, and I don't mind at all if Americas is an NA, even though Sentinels fans maybe need to be humbled because they're getting a little out of line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talking about
The sirens are those.
mine, 1 second.
All good. Well, now we don't know what we're talking about.
Someone just talk about something.
Uh-oh, he's gone.
Let's talk about Ye.
There we
I don't
go.
wanna
Never
talk
mind,
about-
he's back. He's back.
You're gonna make me sad, bro. I don't want to talk about Ye.
I think we did a whole episode on Ye. This
Just
point.
shit talking. I like
One
Ye, man.
hour exit frag talk about Ye. Like that's
The
gotta
roast
be
of
fun.
Ye.
Just roast like every.
I wish him better, man. I hope he turns it around.
Me too. But talking about now Gen.G being in the finals and everything, do you guys think like no matter who, like if they play Sentinels or Paper X, do you think that would like change the outcome or?
I
Have a
would.
tougher time against Sentinels, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They've got a lot of experience playing PRX at this point, just even within this calendar year. So, yeah. But I do feel like, even though I favor Gen.G overall at this point, after seeing what they've done, there's always, for me, I really highly rate experience in big games. Not necessarily on LAN anymore because everybody plays on LAN regionally, but I think experience in big games, like you can't recreate that pressure in any environment. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Sentinels with guys like Sacy and TenZ and Zellsis, those like emotional leader types, will do very well in that kind of environment. You know, those are guys that have been there before in Sacy and TenZ. And then Zellsis is acting like he's on top of the world no matter literally whatever is going wrong or right. So I would favor Sen more, yeah, but I would still have Gen.G.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, Gen.G have played Paper X as well as Sentinels and have beaten them both. So when they come into the grand finals with, I think, a 2-map ban advantage, it's kind of like a no-brainer here. Like Gen.G have to win this grand final. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, if Paper X make it to the grand final, it's like, for me personally, it's like a win-win. One of the Pacific teams are going to win. So I'm like,
yeah, literally is a win-win, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but then if Sentinels make it, like, I'm kind of wanting to watch a Sentinels against Gen.G once again, more than a Paper X against Gen.G,
absolutely,
if I'm being honest. I think it'll be crazy, though. We'll see.
I just think that Gen.G actually has like the least to lose. Like they have the least pressure on them. Yeah. Like maybe they have a lot of pressure on themselves because it's like, oh, we made it this far, but really, if they don't win it, like they already did incredible, and then they're already going to be making other like tournaments. Like Sentinels, they're going to get flamed if they lose. Paper X, if they lose,
another loss.
No matter what, if they lose and don't win this, it's going to be more like I'm going to make a video about them choking.
Yeah. Both teams are the jokers, the PRX and Sen, both famous jokers. Well,
yeah,
just jokers in general.
Yeah, so I just think Gen.G just can play loose, and of course they want it really bad, but I think that is why like I think Gen.G will win whoever they play.
I just think the VODs as well will be a huge part. I just feel like solo. It's Glow, right? It's the other coach.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much experience, not just within the game of Valorant, but other games as well, like CS as well. So that they'll know exactly what to look for in the VODs of either team, like because so much more. Because they've obviously had two. Well, if it's PRX, it's two extra best, a BO3 and a BO5. So the amount of data they have compared to their own data is very significant, and for the
Yeah.
coaches like them, it's a huge advantage, more than the Matt Veto advantage, I think, having all that different info and the extra day to prep. So yeah.
Well, logically speaking, I feel like Gen.G has to be favored, but every time we do this, like the community does a little song and dance of this team is on fire. There's no way they can lose. They've got a
Just
map
goes wrong.
advantage. They've got all the odds, and then they just lose. Like even as recent as like NRG. Like this team has so much talent. They've got VODs on Sentinels. Sentinels had to play so many games to get here. There's no way they lose. They have fantastic prep, and then they just lose anyways. It's like
It's that momentum.
it feels like Valorant. Even it comes down to just like getting a hot start on like a pistol round in map 1 can just like set the tone for the entire series. There's always that joke of like typing GG after pistol round. Sometimes, man, sometimes that pistol round will actually just be GG. You'll be like, damn, that was the most convincing pistol I've seen in my life. And they just carry that momentum forward. So, logically speaking, yeah. But Valorant speaking, which is usually illogical and very like any given day, any given Sunday kind of game, we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, especially if Sentinels make it, it's two of the play-in teams.
Yeah.
Like they had to do, like that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like they both,
yeah.
yeah, like Paper Rex really had almost like no footage, but also it's so hard to be like you can't really counter strat Paper Rex, so it doesn't even really matter if they play a billion maps.
Yeah, if you're like trying to counter strike a team like Paper Rex, honestly, you're just wasting your time because it's
Yeah, if their coach doesn't know what they're doing, how the hell are you supposed to know
Yeah.
what they're
I
doing?
think it's very like in order to counter strat, you're not gonna have specific set plays that counter like okay, this guy plays here. It's more so like a macro like understanding of how they play. I think like EG showed when you can when you can either match the aggression, which is like what Boostio was talking about. He was like they're like a very overwhelming team. And so we have to like overwhelm them back. If you have the talent to do that, then you can. But in general, like, they throw so many weird plays and they're so on the fly that it's hard to anti-strat. Like I think back to, I think it was Sentinels playing. It was Sentinels on Split for sure, but like, they had seen that. No, it was Karmine Corp against Fnatic on Split. And they knew exactly where Boaster was playing every round, and they were just flashing him and killing him, like Omen Paranoia and kill him. You can't do that against Paper X because that guy's not gonna be there every round. There's zero shot. So yeah, I would give me, I guess Gen.G. I'm gonna go 3-1 though, not even 3-2. Give me a 3-1 over Sentinels with like 2 close maps, and then the other 2 are gonna be less close, more one-sided.
Yeah, I could see that being like 3-1, but I think if they played Paper X, it'd be like a map 5.
Weirdly
like,
enough, that makes sense. I could understand.
Because this might end up being, well, Sentinels are kind of doing good right now, but
Better defense than offense or attack. Why did I say okay, I've been watching too many traditional sports. Defense and offense. Attack and defense. Jesus.
but yeah, so talking about kind of like the grand finals and everything, there's also going to be the show match beforehand with introducing the new agent. I haven't really looked at anything about it. Like I have general, like I didn't watch like the Kanga or whatever video about all the abilities he had or anything, but kind of what are y'all's thoughts about it? I know it's a controller.
Yeah, I think we have the ability names and then some speculation on being able to use abilities after you're dead or having some sort of second life mechanic.
The TenZ agent.
I I don't really like that, but I'll let someone else give their thoughts
Kind of
first.
feels like the new agent. I think it's called Clove.
Mhm.
Kind of feels like a reinvented KO, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
with a little bit of smokes and I guess its own unique thing. But yeah, it'd be interesting to watch how this agent's gonna be used in pro play. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be like another deadlock, if you know what I mean.
I would prefer that it's busted than it's bad. I for me personally, I don't really mind seeing a perma pick, as long as we change the meta eventually. Like if we have one event, like say Tokyo, say Clove is really good and they're picked on every single map, I don't care, like at all. It'd be kind of exciting to see teams use a busted agent sometimes.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind if
Yeah,
they're ass.
initially it will be exciting, but then after some time, it kind of gets like, it's kind of overpowered and
Yeah, yeah. As long as it's not the chamber meta, which was like a year, an
yeah,
entire year of
Nerf
chamber.
it quickly.
Well, they're way quicker now. I feel like with trying just to like they're just trying not to have another chamber
Yeah,
incident.
I don't know what took them so long. I don't know what took them so long on chamber. They
It was
watched
pretty
them for the entire
simple.
year.
Well, EA
had to
fans.
let Ye
Right, all
finish
EA
off
fans.
chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, like we need the
Yeah, yeah.
storyline. But I mean, before that, there was like Astra. I don't think Astra was ever broken. Well,
Well, when the
She was-
controllers are
not
like
as broken as chamber, but she was busted.
yeah, when it's not as annoying when it's like a controllers are like busted, like or like the must picks. Like right now, Viper being like the most picked on everything isn't that annoying because at least you have to play like strategically with it. Like Chamber, like Jet being OP, Raze being OP at the very beginning was like
There's
way more
very little
annoying.
counterplay.
Yeah, it just
to,
feels like
to chamber.
really brain dead. If you watch, especially like someone like Ye on Chamber, it just feels like it's a better agent than any other agent. Like you could have 5 chambers on one team and they would absolutely win the game. Like that's how it feels.
You want to talk about a chamber merchant, bro? Cryo was the worst. I have this one round in my head when they played at Copenhagen against, I think it's FPX, but it was old busted Pearl with the annoying ass B site, and he's just sitting in the corner like the little thing with his TP, crouched, sitting in a corner in a smoke, and they walk in the smoke like just peek into the smoke, and he one taps one and teleports to safety, and I think he kills like 2 more from backside. That shit was annoying. So I hope it's not that broken, but I do like watching new agents, so I'm not gonna complain. It's kind of sad to not see like Deadlock and ISO from anyone. It's like it feels a little bit pointless. Obviously ranked people play it in ranked, but well, not Deadlock. I don't know how often you guys are running into deadlocks, but I'm not.
Nah.
I think it's going to be like one of those agents which is really troll in ranked, but going to be good in pro play. If you know what I mean. Like people are gonna like run it down. Like when Gecko was originally released, where people just throw the wingman into sight with the bomb, and it would just drop in
Dude,
sight.
so annoying.
I think it's going to be at the start. It's going to be very similar to that. People have no idea how to play it properly, so it's just going to be like people just inting everywhere.
I'm trying to
Like
figure out
similar to
like,
Gecko.
because there's that idea or the leaked like the very basic information is that like idea of a second chance to do your shit. So either like a res, which I don't think it's a res, but it's also called pick me up, which is crazy, but that could just mean literally nothing. It's hard to speculate off of the name of a PC utility
Hey.
because nobody calls it that anyways.
Ooh,
But
maybe.
like I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to think because if it's a backpack, maybe someone can pick it up, and as long as the person who has the backpack on, they can use
Yeah, but-
abilities until they
But
die.
the crazy part is that I thought it was her ult, but it isn't. I mean,
No,
sorry,
it's
the
yeah,
agent's
it's
ult. Sorry.
not the old. Yeah,
Yeah, it's called Flight Path. I think that's the ult, right?
Yeah, isn't
It's
it like
just- it's disgusting? Jesus.
teleport, like a fly through the
I
map.
have no
and then
idea.
See,
land
the
somewhere
idea
else.
of being able to pick up the abilities would be cool, but I feel like they wouldn't add that purely for clutter reasons, like and like ease of actually, I guess
Yeah.
accessibility is the right way to say it. Like that would be too complicated, I think, for a majority of the player base. Weirdly enough, I'm just hoping that it's not like and I think generally like Riot's pretty smart about balancing abilities to not be grossly busted. Like everything is kind of breakable in that sort of sense. So if you're able to use your smokes after you die, which is kind of what like people are speculating, I do think you would have to have already placed your utility somewhere on the map, and I think you'll have a limited time after. Because if you can just be in basically Astra's like astral projection form, fucking playing a real time strategy, that is the most annoying shit ever. Because you know you're in a 1v2 and you kill the smokes and he's still playing. Like that's not fun. It's broken. So I doubt it'll be that. I have more faith that.
I think it's gonna be like the Jet like cooldown, or like if there's a window where maybe you can do a couple things and then you're done. But I don't know. I feel like I just don't know if they're gonna. If it's a smokes player, are they gonna give like the ult anything about like info gathering really?
I wouldn't think so.
Because yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't think it's just gonna be something that you like can float around and kind of like almost spectate.
Yeah, unless it's like passive info, kind of like Harbor gives you. Because Harbor's ult is a stun, but it also passively gives you info through like sound cues and the visual if you can see it. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm really
not mad
excited
if
to
it's
see
broken,
it.
but
yeah,
I'm generally not a fan of resurrection mechanics in games.
Yeah, I hate the. It's nice that Sage has it because at least there's a reason to pick her, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan of like when someone dies, they're dead.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just thinking of the ult, like flight path. It's it's supposed to be thing around.
Yeah,
like,
I'm kind of
butterfly.
confused on that.
I have no idea.
What does that even mean?
Is there like a clone? Like I'm thinking,
am I
like,
gonna
maybe
die to a
Mirage from
bunch of
Apex?
butterflies?
Butterfly.
Yeah, like the butterfly effect. I was also thinking of that, like the butterfly effect. Maybe like you put down a clone, and like separates into loads of different clones, like Mirage and Apex. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know what, or you like float around the map.
Because
Like,
floating around the
land
map would be
somewhere.
so disgustingly troll.
That'd be ridiculous. It'd be like,
oh my god.
You're
at that point,
for a smoke. It'd be so weird.
well, if you can float around the map, like, I don't know, that would be just
There's
kind of
zero
hectic.
shot they add
No
flying.
clip. Like no clip.
There will
I
not
don't
be
know.
flying.
It's straight up flying as butterflies. Well, I'm like wondering if it's gonna be like some damage, like to do, but it's butterflies. You don't. If she was like
Butterflies don't
bees
hurt.
or something,
Yeah.
then it
The
makes
art
sense.
as well, though. They've got like sort of like these dark wings behind them. So I don't know. Don't know what's going on.
I'm so this is the most confused I think I've been on an agent because like I kind of had a general idea of what Harper was gonna be like, especially with like the chamber meta, trying to destroy that with like space gathering. Then like Deadlock kind of made sense. ISO, I didn't even pay attention when he came out.
Yeah, no. I feel like we had more information as well on previous releases. This one is
but
like
with this agent, maybe it's because they're trying to make it really grand.
Dead silent.
With
There's like no
the show
leaks.
match and stuff. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's usable this time.
Yeah, give us a good usable agent, please. That would be nice. Also, like, I don't know. I really like the controller role in general. And so I'm excited just to see a new controller play. Like, I love watching like Jogamo's Harbor. Like that's my favorite hero of his, even over agent, even over the Rays. Like, I prefer to watch him on Harbor because he's just fucking hilarious on that character. He'll just like wall and he'll entry and he'll throw his cove on the ground and force you to take a fight in his cove with him. It's the most absurd shit. So I like watching controllers like Frag and make crazy plays. So if that enables this, I will enjoy watching. Maybe I won't enjoy playing against it, but I'm more of a watcher than a player anyway. So
yeah, me too. Well, I'm just waiting until they do like League of Legends rules of like agent bans. Like
I don't want agent bans. Honestly.
I want it so
or map
bad.
Bans.
Map bans, yeah.
Wait, did they have agent bans in like a tournament? If I'm not
They
wrong?
did.
There's been a
once.
few. There's been a few.
But I
in
just
the past.
I'd just love to see like teams having to adapt and like always have multiple different comps.
Yeah,
I feel like that's always better hypothetically than what you actually get. Specifically with like back when I was watching like the Overwatch League, they had a hero ban system for a while where they would just kind of ban meta heroes for like a week. And yeah, it was cool to see like, okay, we're watching like Soldier 76 as opposed to Ash and McCree because they both got banned in the same week. It sounds fun, but then all the comps are trash and because teams don't have enough time to prepare multiple comps for a large map pool, so you just run into the issue of the level of play gets brought drastically down. I mean, it was really bad when you have like Carpe, who plays for T1 now, and I think he was playing like Torbjorn, which is a turret-based character, and it's like, okay, what are we really doing here? Just let the guy play Widow. Like, I want to see him play his best hero on their best map with their best strats. So I guess it just depends on what you value. Like, if you prefer the comp variety and like the excitement of seeing new things, or like you want the absolute highest level of play from every team.
Yeah, I think I just love the chaos of having to, if like, let's say we're unbind and we ban Raze. It's like, so what's going to happen now? Like teams have to like figure out how to entry without Raze. And to me, I just think that would be, maybe it just needs to be like a specific different like play set. Like the band like tournament, maybe normal tournaments just have like normal rules, but maybe, I don't know. I just think it'd be super cool to see some bigger events have bans. Just to see kind of like what would happen. Like maybe it doesn't have to be like Masters events or splits, but just maybe even off-season tournaments. I'd love to start seeing that happen. Like maybe the Freaka TV League, that'd be fun.
Freeze out. I think there was a freeze out event or something that had hero bans. That was like 2 years ago, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe that would help with the off-season. Like just having weird gimmicks.
You know, I just hope we get a replay system before
a ban system.
Good luck.
Yeah, I finally watched that video of that one guy made.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, someone just made like a quick example of a replay system that Riot could do. And it makes sense. Yeah, if they wanted to. Like, they definitely could. Like, they could add a lot of more like quality of life stuff.
I believe they already tested the replay system in China, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they had some.
It was like it was like a clipping system rather than a clip.
But that's better than what we have, bro. I don't want to boot up NVIDIA Shadowplay to watch my clutch back. I just want to be able to remember it and have the video there in like a demo. I don't know. I have no clue about any sort of back end development, so I can't comment on that. It would just be very nice to see. Competitively, everybody would take a step up because everyone can see your shit now. And you have to keep innovating. And keep refining. And you can also see your own mistakes better. You don't have to look at the mini map and be like, oh, you're a little too pushed up. Like, it's ridiculous that it's not in the game.
Yeah.
At this point, going on like what? 3 years of having maybe 4 years of having a Riot sponsored competitive circuit and nothing. Like now we have a franchise league. I think it's time.
Yeah, I just think they need to focus on a couple more quality of life stuff. I feel like they haven't really done that. Like I've been playing the finals a bunch and they just like did a bunch of quality of life stuff. Of course it's like a pretty brand new game, so they're still in the trying to get a fan base. Oh, there's Sentinel.
Yep. TenZ clutched.
Okay. So yep, Sentinels and Gen.G will be playing.
Yep. Lock it in. 3-1 Gen.G. Anyways.
Gen.G.
Yeah, they should have the replay system soon, but
we've been hearing soon for
like the Vanguard, because they like the game was built from ground up from a brand new engine. All the stuff is like in a closed system, so anything they release has to be thoroughly checked. Like because that someone's going to find an exploit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's probably the main thing. It's like they don't want to like release any information like on the back end of the game that can be exploited.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I could definitely see an exploit happening where like during the game you could just see everything. Like
stuff like that.
Or like the game breaking, like you know how at one point I think it was the Pacific where they could just hear the other team on accident.
Oh, is that like the first day?
Yeah, that was the first day. That's why they had like a 6 hour.
Fucking oh my
bleed
god.
against T1, I think.
Bro,
I literally
stayed
fell
up.
asleep.
I watched that game. I watched that game with the 6-hour delay. I
I
had
got-
a Sliggy on my second monitor, and I was just like waiting for the game to start. And at a certain point, I was like, okay, look, I'm 4 hours into waiting now. If I go to bed now, this was all for nothing. So I stuck it out. It was not worth it.
tried because that was like the game I was really looking forward to. Because I really wanted to see T1 play, and I fell asleep with like my phone, like the live stream up in my hand,
And
like
you woke up and it still hadn't started the next day.
But it was just, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
But I can see something like that happening. It's just all these other teams can do it, and like or like other like developers can do it, and they like can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think it was just that it's a new engine. I think that was the main problem. They had to literally go back and code it from scratch. Whereas like I guess Fortnite is on, was it Unreal?
I think Fortnite's Unreal. A lot of games are on Unreal.
Yeah.
Source, which is really old. So, and yeah, I think that's probably the main problem, right?
Yeah. So now shifting a little bit away from Masters Madrid, split one. How do you guys kind of think? Like, do you think Energy will bounce back? Do you think Fnatic? Like, what do you guys kind of think? Do you think the teams like Team Heretics will actually continue to do good against more teams? Like, are you
Oh,
guys?
100%. I feel like NRG are gonna come back. I just see it. I mean, I've been rooting for this team since the Optic days, and I kind of feel like they had a really, they had a really bad match against Sen, but I kind of feel like they would be the next best Americas team. So I kind of feel like they have a good chance to bounce back, and we might be seeing them at Masters Shanghai, but we see. You never know.
There's 3 spots open, and are they all due to how you finish in split one, or is it point? It's how you finish, right?
Yeah.
I think you do get a point from this Masters, and then
I think the points only matter for champs, right? I think
Yeah, I think so. Because
The second and third get qualification.
Yeah. So okay. So you just are playing each other, and whoever ends first, second, third in the split makes it to. Okay. That's gonna be tough. There's a lot of really good teams, and
I mean, Americas is wild because I felt like in kickoff, you could tell when some teams were some like hot ass, like Furia, Cloud9, G2. Watching G2 made me the most miserable man on earth. I was grumpy as hell because that was like I was Guard fan since they were created, and then I like my boys. I like JohnQT's like my favorite player. Pretty weird favorite player, JohnQT of all people, but I was happy to see him get recognition because he was popping off. But dude, watching that team, it just looked so bad. Same with Cloud9. Cloud9 looked terrible. Furia looked pretty bad. For those teams, I don't anticipate any of them bouncing back to any real level to do anything good. But like 1 through 8 in Americas is solid as hell, and then like the top 5 is like any of these guys could go to an event. Because like I expect 100 Thieves to do pretty well, which maybe is silly. I could see EG not making this event, but maybe making champs as the 4th seed. I don't know how the points system works, but they were impressive to me. And that's with time. Potter has shown that she can get the best out of anyone. So, like they could bounce back. Leviathan could bounce back. There's just too many good teams that I feel like it's really just going to come down to like who's hot on what day. So Americas is impossible to predict in my opinion, because even with a team as talented as NRG, I don't know. They didn't impress me a lot. You would hope that they would have played better, but you expect them to come back with something new, but there's no saying that it's going to be enough, right, to make an event.
Yeah, I have a hot take. Like my hot take for split one will be that Loud's not gonna make it to Shanghai, because I think it's gonna be Sen, Lev, and NRG. Because I think like Lev have their problems and everything, But I think that team just has the firepower that they will end up putting it together, and Loud, unless they majorly switch something and kind of figure out how to use QCK better and trying to figure out how to like actually entry. I just don't see them. Like I could definitely see them falling out and like not making it, and maybe even no. I think. Oh yeah, they don't have any points yet, so.
Senna and NRG are also in the same group.
Mm-hmm.
I would never bet against Loud. I got to be honest. I can't do it anymore.
I'm always
I can't keep doubting.
Until they make another grand finals. I'm gonna doubt them until.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Leviathan is gonna have too many issues, too many communication issues to overcome. Even though I think Aspas at his peak is the best player in the world. Again, that's only gonna get you so far, especially in like a super stacked region. So.
Yeah, because I actually have like less faith in EG, like long term, because I thought like when they won maps, it was like, yeah, their players are good. Like I think most of them are worthy of being tier 1 players. I just think that their counter stratting is so great, but I think at a certain point when you've played everybody, you're showing everything all the time. I think they'll get counter stratted, and I don't think they have that. I don't think they have it in them long term.
I think they're gonna have to. For me, I could see them like squeaking by. I think, dude, Apoth was playing insane. Superman had like some insane moments. Which, if you haven't like kept up with Superman since like his phase days, that guy has been underrated forever. This is nothing new. Derek bounced back. Jaws, one of the best players in the world. For me, it's just like, I don't know, nature. It's not even like that I think he's bad. It's just he doesn't have a lot of. I mean, he has a lot of experience, but not a lot of it is very recent. Like, in terms of playing at the top level. So, like, because his TSM run was just not that inspiring, and also that's tier 2. So. It's a whole different ballgame, as G2 showed. So I don't know. I also just like EG. I'm a little biased. Not the org, obviously, but I like Potter and I like Jogamo. So I'm hoping that they can like squeak into champs and just make it for the sake of making it, to like prove people wrong. It's for the storyline more so than anything.
Yeah. So now moving kind of like to EMEA, I think that one's also just going to be as chaotic. Like for those 3 spots, like I think Fnatic, I still have faith in them that they'll lock it up.
Oh yeah, 100%
for sure.
Like if they don't,
yeah,
Boaster's going to be so sad.
No, it's gonna be so sad because they had such a dominant performance last year, and then they have to come back. Like there's no way they don't come back and show NA that it's not a 0-team region.
How you guys feel about Team Liquid? What's going on with Team Liquid, guys?
They should have all the pieces, but like I haven't really watched them, and like, so is Nats like just not that good anymore? Like I haven't.
He played very well in
okay.
They won.
Because I was wondering, I'm like, because I feel like if
he's not at his peak, obviously he's still a good
player. Well, because yeah, like I just think that like Safe should be incredible. Like I just don't see this team.
Safe, oh yeah, is Safe on Liquid?
Oh no, Safe's on Team Vitality. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I love Safe.
He's nice. He's a nice guy. From
I like Team Vitality.
I watched.
Keiko's played very well though.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Oh yeah, Kiko's.
He's so good. It's just I don't know. I saw a comment that was like, I mean, you took the 2 players that Fnatic couldn't win with and put them on your roster. Like, why would you think you're gonna win? And I feel like it's very it's mean-spirited as fuck. Like when I read it, I was like, damn, bro, that's just not everybody can win. Like that's the reality of the situation, is like sometimes stars don't align, or there's 44 teams, only one winner every event. Yep. So that was kind of rude, but also maybe they're just right. I don't know. This Team Liquid has been pretty mid for a while now. Even last year when they were making events, man, it was not inspiring. They were not doing it dominantly and I feel bad for the broadcast people that had to be like, these are your EMEA champions, because like fucking let's be honest, bro. Like, this is your 1 seed right here, Team Liquid. They beat Fnatic, and then they just shit the bed every time. So yeah, I don't really know enough about EMEA to comment. So I do expect a Fnatic bounce back. I expect Karmine Corp to get better, Heretics to get better, Navi, even though I dislike the team. But other than that, I'm really clueless on like the 5 to 11 type of teams. I don't really keep up.
Yeah, because I'd put Foot in there too. Foot's really good.
Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality's really good. I think the only teams that aren't really up to the same level is like Gentlemates, BBL, and Koi.
Even Giant
Koi.
X has got a great roster.
Who the hell, bro? Why? Who,
Yeah, Giants.
why, BBL.
Yeah.
Genuinely, who named this team? First of all, and also, what is this? Why does this team exist? Get Qtion or X on a good team, please. I watched that guy.
Stands for. It's like something Legends.
BBL.
Is it Big Boss Legends or something?
Big
like
Boss Legends. That sounds familiar.
It sounds very Turkish.
Shadow Legends.
It's so corny, bro.
It's so Turkish.
Big Boss Legends.
Yeah,
Holy
I mean,
shit.
like, it's 3 teams. Like,
Yeah, and
Foot could beat Heretics to get there. Team Liquid maybe. Karmine Corp could lose to.
I have no
Vitality could
idea.
get there. It's going to be impossible to like predict. Literally impossible.
Yeah, I think this one's harder than the Americas, actually.
Yeah, I think so too, because when it comes to like the tier 2 talent in EMEA, NA is kind of spoiled by having a tier 2 that's very like I don't know,
Structured?
like it's sorry?
Structured?
Yeah, structured of course, but also like I guess clouded is the slang term. There's probably a more official word, but like people know the talent in tier 2 NA. So you have everyone has a better general read of like, okay, this guy's gonna make a difference like day one. For EMEA, I don't think many people are able to keep up with all this 20 million simultaneous leagues. So I know people are like high on Runner. Never seen the guy play. I don't know where his games get streamed. So probably on like, I don't know, twitch.tv like _Europe Northeast or some random shit like that. Like I can't even watch the guys play because I don't know where they're live. So it's rough.
Yeah, you could say the same thing about China as well. Like,
Yeah.
kind of
No
hard
English.
to follow the region.
It's hard to follow the tier 1, bro, because there's no English coverage.
Which that's crazy. I don't understand why there isn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there should be
Mandarin
at this
isn't.
point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of interest outside of China for the league that would
Yeah.
be by an English broadcast, but also I don't. Okay, I was about to say I don't know all the logistics. Riot is a $1 billion company. They could hire an English casting
Don't worry, they
team.
can definitely do it. They could do
Fuck
the
it,
same
bro.
with the replay system. as
Yeah,
well.
like
Okay.
I was about to like cut them some slack, be like, well, you know, it might be hard to find. No, it's not. It's not hard to find 2 English casters, and it's not hard to give them money.
They literally have 2 casters doing like the virtual live or the vertical live stream. Have you seen that? That they like,
Cool live stream.
yeah, they started doing vertical live streams of the game, and they have like 2 people at the bottom that I think just are the casters for the vertical live stream.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. Vertical live stream. Okay,
So it's
welcome
like-
to the future, man.
Oh, it's so annoying. It sucks.
Oh, okay, well then,
It is
never
big.
mind.
Is this for China?
No, this one was. Yeah, this one was for Masters Madrid, like for these games.
I say because vertical live streaming is massive in China. So
Yeah,
I
so
was wondering.
well, but and like they can hire someone for 2 people to cast the vertical live stream, but they can't hire 2 people to
Yeah.
cast like the Chinese league. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna start pulling up the vertical live stream on my monitor and just turning it. It's my preferred way to watch now. Oh, are you watching the FNS watch party? No, man, I'll do you one better. I'm watching the
TikTok
vertical live stream
live.
right now. I'm on TikTok live watching Masters Madrid.
That's the real way.
That's gonna pretty much like start setting all of the like viewership records.
Yeah.
1 million people on TikTok live.
Or like whatever the Chinese equivalent to TikTok, because I think they have their own now. It's like
Yeah,
I think
there are.
it's called a different thing. It might be the same company, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we broke 500 million viewers on the Chinese equivalent of TikTok on our vertical live stream. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm actually looking forward to. I said this in the chat, but I'm looking forward to domestic play in the regions a bit more than I was excited for Masters Madrid. Weirdly enough, I just like the storylines that develop domestically, especially in like North America. So my cat is on my desk. And then for APAC, I'm upset because I'm going to Korea and I'm just missing out on the playoffs for APAC, so I won't be able to attend a VCT Pacific match, which sucks, but is what it is.
Man.
I'll make one day.
I got to see the start of Crew's LCQ run.
I was about to say, you got to go to LCQ.
Yeah, I saw LCQ and then I went to one other game like during the season, but yeah, I'm excited for the Pacific League. I think there's a lot of storylines there that like storylines of redemption like in the Pacific, like all around.
100%.
Like
I mean, one of the teams that I want to bring up is Team Secret. It's a Filipino team. These guys are actually really crazy. I just looked back and they almost beat GenG, and they were only off by a few rounds. They beat them on Breeze as well. Holy. Yeah, so Team Secret is definitely a team you want to look out for, as well as Team Secret and then DRX, of course. And maybe even T1, I guess. I don't know.
Nah, T1, I really like Rossi. Just because, I mean, that sounds so like, because he's from NA, damn it. Like, I like him because he's funny as fuck. He's from North America. Back in the TSM days, man, when it was like him, Wardell, and Subrosa on TSM, and he would just go on Twitter after they win, which wasn't terribly often at that point in time. But when they did get a win, he would go on Twitter and just like record a shit talking video, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
I mean, NA imports have been really crazy, even with Narrate on his team.
Yeah, Narrate, Governor as well. He played well individually, even though his team kind of shit the bed in like their rematch with Team Secret. Same with I mean, even Ban. Ban is also, I mean, I guess he doesn't have import status anymore, but he was in tier 2 of NA. So, yep. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get a better read on these players because they're in your face. So I think NA tier 2 has that advantage, and I think that's why they get scouted so much easier outside of their region.
Yeah, I'm just really excited for this T1 team because like I love Xcrit or Accurate or whatever. Like, I think he's so good. Like,
dude, his chamber was so much fun to watch.
Yeah. And he was just like a god in CSGO and everything on the op, and I'm just so excited to like continue to see him. Like, I didn't get to watch I didn't watch the one against Bleed, but then I watched the Paper X game, and while they lost, like I wasn't like this team's like shit the bed or anything. Like, I thought they were doing fine. They just weren't there yet. Like they have it in them to definitely make it to the next two. And that's what I'm kind of thinking is they're going to be like the third one in. Cause
it's like, it's just much easier to predict in the other leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. APAC's pretty, the guys that are good have kind of already shown their hand, and the guys that are bad have already shown that they're, I mean, Bleed for me is like, they looked so bad. They looked like past fucking fixing, and people were like, "How are you making a roster change already?"
Yeah,
I can tell you didn't watch the games because it was like, it wasn't even like, I can't give them any credit. It was bad.
They even
game against Global,
Crazy Guy.
Yeah, Crazy Guy's out.
Egoist retired.
That's crazy.
Like
Crazy
I
guy.
don't know.
out.
That's our greatest NA's greatest import. Yay! Just go and blow up a team in APAC. Yeah, Bleed.
If you thought Artist was a double agent, I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk. I'm gonna
the
bring
ultimate double
Ye.
agent. We're
He's going
sabotaging.
after. He attacks a disguised Toast team, then he goes and.
Look, bro, we had the read. We knew that that APAC was gonna have a come up at Masters Madrid, so we sent in a sleeper agent, to sabotage another team before they could get good enough to compete.
But I actually hope Ye does much better. We'll
I do
see.
too, man. Just slap him on chamber.
yeah.
I don't even care if he doesn't play crazy good. I just want him to look like himself again sometimes. And right now he looks like himself none of the time, which is like super unfortunate to see. Because like his peak was the highest peak we've ever seen. He was nuts. So I'm glad I got to watch him at his peak, which is cool. But
Because yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Like, because they should just
release him probably after this season, almost certainly.
Not a Cloud9, please no.
Honestly, they should just F it and just bring him back to Cloud9 and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, they brought back Vanity. Anything's possible.
Well, I still think to this day it's kind of insane that they got rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been funding or something.
It
was money. It was money. I made a video on it, and Jack Etienne, who's the owner of Cloud9, publicly, him and MC sat down and were like, we're having internal role issues and struggles, which I don't doubt that there's some truth to that, because internal struggles maybe have been a common theme. I'm not making any assumptions about Ye and his personality, but 3 teams in a row that kind of get boomed after his addition is like concerning, which might not be totally his fault. It might be like the internals of the team have maybe super high expectations, or give him more like that superstar treatment, I guess, which is kind of what the Bleed guys were saying. They're like certain superstars on this team, which
I think that was Crazy Guy. Or was
like who are we really talking about? I'm pretty sure it was Crazy Guy in his retirement.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Ye.
Yeah, Jack said like, I'm doing what I need to do to keep Cloud9 going, which to me screams like we were paying this guy way too much money. But also good for Ye, because he got the Bleed bag and he's set for life. So it doesn't matter how he performs in the game.
Oh yeah, I kind of predicted his move to DSG as well as Bleed in my first video, which is kind of crazy when I think about it.
There you go, 2 for 2.
But yeah, but like if there was any team that was gonna throw the money to Ye, it was gonna be Bleed. Like there's no.
I want to be rich so bad just to have an org and just pay players like fuck you money. And I don't even look, bro. Being in tier 1 would be nice, but like I could just imagine playing in like a random ass weekly tournament and bringing in Fnatic and just being like, yeah, we're gonna steal this $2,000 prize pool from a bunch of teenagers.
That's kind of what Toast tried to do in NA, but
shit did not work.
Kind of failed. Yeah. Kind of backfired.
Is it working? You know more about APAC. Is it working in Southeast Asia for him? What do they look like now? Like, are they good?
Who, Bleed?
Disguised, like Toast's new team.
Yeah, I think it's doing much better. They have Chemkin, if I'm not wrong. Chemkin from Bleed. He used to play as the duelist for Bleed.
Yeah,
pretty crazy, but he couldn't play for Bleed after they made it to the franchise position after winning out. So Jemkin was like under 18 or something, and so he couldn't play.
Wait, are you talking about wait, let me look. DSG VLR. I think Jankum
Juicy? Is it Juicy, right?
Oh, sorry, it's Juicy. Yeah,
Juicy. That's fine. J
Juicy,
names. Yeah, that makes sense. Juicy, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing good. 5-2 in group stage.
Yeah, they're doing good.
Cool.
Juicy was like a really crazy player to look at, especially when Bleed weren't franchised. You could see Juicy like rip apart teams, and it was like nothing for this guy. So, I'm telling you guys, like Pacific has really good talent out there, like a huge talent pool, and like Juicy's one of those players you gotta, look out for.
Yeah, I just think it'd be nice, even though I'm not a Toast fan by any means. I've literally never watched a single thing the guys put out. For the health of the game, though, I wouldn't mind this guy's ascending. Same with like Shopify or whatever.
I think for the sake of the game, I just think having more and more content creators like having orgs because it's just a money loss thing, and people just have to kind of know that right now.
Mhm.
And content creators know it the best, and they just like do it because they love the game.
I will say though, I'm disappointed in like the creator run orgs currently, because you would think they would do more content with their team, but like
Yeah.
Ludwig has kind of largely ignored
yeah.
his team outside of watch parties, and same kind of with, I mean, for Toast it's harder because his team is in like another continent, but in terms of Ludwig, it's like you would think he would, want to put more of a spotlight on his team, because then you recoup some of the money as well when you make content or like ad revenue or whatever. So, and sponsors.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like he could have just had them like in videos just to promote their names so that more people watch their games.
Yeah,
Because I
just
only watch it
expected-
because of him. Like I know the players, but also I don't really. I'm already watching all the other like
It's a
tier
lot of
1
Valorant.
leagues.
It's a lot.
I'm like, why am I watching tier 1 or tier 2 right now?
Yeah, I get
But
you.
yeah, so one last region, China, split
idea.
one. Just EDG will
lock it in.
EDG, GDG, and then like maybe FPX. I don't know.
Yeah, just I don't know. I'm gonna go with the two names I recognize, EDG and FPX. And for the third team, I've heard. Here's some hard hitting analysis. I've heard the name Dragon Rage Gaming.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ranger. They were the
I
Ascension
know
team.
Nothing about them,
They
but I know their name, so I'm gonna
they
lock them in.
almost made it.
That's my third team right there.
They've
Oh,
got
I
a
also
cute
know
cat. Have you
Trace,
seen their
so
cat?
it's a toss up. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. EDG, FPX, and then whoever has a hot streak.
Any China
Yeah, I mean,
analyzers?
with FPX, with the Chinese, the next master being in Shanghai, maybe they have a buff coming into Masters. Who knows?
I'm assuming that fan base will be a lot better than like not
Yeah.
to like roast
Because
Madrid
I
or
really
anything.
doubt we're gonna get a global audience in Shanghai, like a
No.
really global one.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
like
so it's just gonna be like
Chinese
80% of Chinese,
Mhm.
fans, and there's nothing wrong about that. I just see, FPX probably doing a little better. I don't know.
I mean, I'll roast the Madrid crowd. They were a hot ass crowd for until the playoffs. I mean, it was like I was watching games in dead silence. Like, I don't know if the crowd maybe just wasn't getting like their mics were low or something, but it felt like I can't even remember what specific game it was, but Pansy and Hypoc were casting, and it was like I was listening to a podcast because it was just them talking over the game, and there was no crowd noise. Even I don't know. So pretty weak crowd.
I think it's because they have the Spanish casters in the audience, for the crowd, and
They don't
also
wanna
they opened it up for the playoffs as well to have more people in. But yeah, the crowd was still a little bit meh.
Well, I would
Yeah.
say like most crowd, because I wouldn't even say like NA always has the best crowds unless like a Brazilian or like Latin team is playing.
Yeah. I thought the LA crowd was really good, especially once they got to the gear form. That crowd was
That
nuts,
was
bro. But
good.
also that was just like raw power, just like 10,000 people in an arena. It's got to be loud, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And EG had a great run as well. Also pumped that a lot.
Oh, yeah, everyone was just so I was trying to see if I could get tickets. It was just too expensive.
Really, how much is it? Like, I have no clue.
I think people were reselling for like over like $100 or something like that. And
I mean,
don't
I
got
left a
that.
comment on like the live thread, and I was like, are tickets just like, are they just super limited for this event? Because why are there like 5 people in the Madrid crowd? Because they literally had like one section open.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks like the fucking warehouse they played in Masters
'cause I
Reykjavik.
I remember it being sold off really quick, if I'm not wrong.
So my thing is like, why have, if you're worried about maybe a barren looking crowd, well, first of all, you created one already, but I guess I don't understand the logistics behind not just opening a new section once your dedicated section sells out. I feel like that's extremely common for literally every other thing that's run in a venue, is once you sell out, you open more sections because there's crowd demand, and that's obvious. So I don't get the idea of being like, well, no, we don't want every game to be a sellout. Why not just fucking let people buy tickets?
Yeah, well, I think they'll do that for the Shanghai. I feel
Dude, they
like
better
it'd be
pack out a
insane.
massive arena, bro. Come on.
Especially since like Riot is like what, like a Chinese company.
They're owned, like I think a majority, by TenZ.
Yeah, so like they should have like a good stadium, good amount of people. I haven't looked too much into it, but yeah, so whoever is making out of China in Split 1 should have like the crowd behind them.
I mean, the
like,
production in China is also kind of like next level. Like they really, so I'm hoping for a crazy ass event. Like Madrid's been fine, but
yeah, I'm excited.
hopefully they'll have like a vertical stream going on all the screens in the venue. That would be great.
They're gonna have like chest GoPro cams.
Yeah.
Chest when they're playing.
Like that one guy that looks at the trains or whatever, and he's got the helmet and his face looks all distorted. That's how JohnQT looks sometimes. He's like so close to his camera at like the most random intervals. That's pretty funny. Have you guys seen, okay, this is hella off topic, but during like kickoff when G2 was playing, did you guys see how close Net was to his monitor?
Sniffing it. He was tasting
Dude,
it.
he had his nose on that shit. It was so funny. That's it. That's the only comment I had. I had to point that out. Made sure someone else took notice of that besides me.
Okay, so let's wrap this up a little bit. Now that we've kind of went over each region for Split 1, I kind of want to end this off with weekly awards. It can be either Valorant related or not, like win, fail. I'll go first. So my win is that I remembered that it was Saturday and not Friday, like early enough because I was gonna miss the podcast in accident.
Happens.
So win to my phone telling me the time all the time and the date.
Oh.
My fail is U-Haul, the like people that provide you trailers and stuff to like move. They're way too expensive and I'm moving right now and U-Haul sucks. It's like $1,000 for a trailer.
Yeah, and if any U-Haul reps are watching and want to give us money, we were talking about a different company.
Please sponsor my move.
I'll go next. My weekly win is gonna have to be the Now let me do my loss first. My March Madness bracket. If anyone's familiar, I know we've got two guys that aren't like Americans. Are we familiar with March Madness?
Some NFL thing. Is it like
well,
league?
you know,
It's
we're
a
getting
sports
close.
thing, but
fantasy league or something like that.
It's college basketball.
College
yeah, college basketball.
They bring it's a 64 team, or I guess 68 team bracket single
elimination.
And so the fun every year is trying to guess the bracket. Now, in my bracket, I had Arizona, Auburn, Kentucky, and South Carolina in my Final Four. Now, disclaimer, I don't watch college basketball, so I was guessing. And I whiffed on 3 of the top 4 are already out after the first round of play. So my bracket is busted as fuck. So that's my loss. My win, I guess doing a face reveal. There we go. That's my win. My win of the week.
Nice.
I don't have a week. I can't think of anything.
All right, let me go here. My weekly win will probably be, like, I'm trying to not put it as trying to not relate to Valorant stuff, but I can't help but bring up GenG coming to the grand finals. Like, I feel like that's probably my weekly win. And
win for the whole region.
Loss, yeah, for Pacific, you know. But my weekly loss would probably be my NSEMs next week, which I have to study for, and I don't feel like doing.
I'd say don't study for them and wing it probably. I think you'll be good.
For sure. That's if GenG wins.
Ford, I have a weekly loss for you.
What's my weekly loss?
Relating to your motherland. Do you know that guy in the food truck that sells potatoes on TikTok?
Yes, the big long lines.
Yeah, is that a real thing?
Well, I think it's more like a publicity thing. Like, you remember Binley Mega Chippy, sort of similar thing to that. Just random things. UK TikTok is the weirdest thing. It's random people just blow up out of nowhere, and it's just
Why would they do that? I watched a man put chili and tuna on a
chili and tuna.
potato. Yeah.
Well, I don't like tin tuna, but I know that's a thing. Like baked potato.
Well, that's
is
you
very
guys'
popular.
weekly loss.
It's
I'm just
like
gonna
baked
blanket
potato.
that.
Nah, baked potato is tough when it's good.
Tuna on a baked
Tuna?
potato is absurd.
Like, no, not that, but
That'd
that's
be
pretty
normal.
no, baked beans. That's great.
Beans on
I
toast.
like these
Beans.
baked beans.
Cheeky
Guys,
Nando's.
you know baked beans and Nando's is pretty good. It's alright.
Yeah.
So there's better chicken places in the UK, but yeah.
Probably.
Oh, my weekly win then will not go to Nando's. It'll go to a little thing called sobrasada, the greatest
Alright.
sausage of all time. The Spaniards will know. Anyone who's from Spain will know what I'm talking about.
You don't call them bangers? Bangers
No,
and mash?
sobrasada is like there's also an Italian thing called andouille as well. It's like a spreadable sausage, but if you put it on pizza, it's the best thing ever. It's like a spicy, like spreadable like sausage. Oh my god.
I'll have to look into that.
Anywhere, I don't know, Walmart.
Yeah.
I don't know where you shop.
I don't know if I don't know if Walmart's carrying
They
Italian
might
sausage.
do.
They'll carry
Andouille
like
is popular.
mince Italian sausage that's like barely sausage.
It's it's good. Oh, you have to go to like New York to find it. That's probably where
Yeah,
you
I'm
get it.
gonna have to go to somewhere a little more
It's the
populated.
best thing on pizza. It's so good, unbelievable.
I'll take your word for
That's
it
my
then.
weekly win. I had it on pizza the other day. It's amazing.
Hell yeah, I made your whole week. That's how good it
The whole
was.
week.
Nice. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of episode 2 of Exit Frag. Everyone can kind of say what they're up to, what they're making right now, and I think I'll go first. Right now I should be having a video all about Split going on about Sentinels, but I guess I'm gonna probably get roasted because they've lost twice in a row now. So that's what I'm doing. But
Yeah, so I'm doing a video on Masters, the complete Masters. Kind of like a summary kind of video. I'm working on it, but yeah, we'll see if it ever comes out because I've got my NSEMs next week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of never coming out, I'm working on a video about EG. EG's run last year. That's how late we are. But my hope is it'll be around an hour and 45 to 2 hours long, and will be I don't want to say timeless because that sounds like I'm putting myself on some sort of journalistic pedestal. But the hope is that it won't matter that it's late because it'll be a good video. And then I am also I work on NA Challengers this year, which is pretty exciting stuff. And that's pretty much what I got going on outside of just like school, which I will not bore you with the details of. So
I have got a video on Gecko coming out soonish. I've been working for a while. Yeah, that's about it. Other than that, I'm doing some editing on the side, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to everyone's channel. Subscribe here. We're going to be trying to put out another episode about every 2 weeks or so. So make sure you check that out. Thanks for all the support on the last video. Over 1,000 views. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, until next time, good night, gamers.
ciao.
Bye-bye.